Warning. This Let's Play may contain discussions including, but not limited to, sexual references, drug use, and violence. It will certainly contain vulgar language and radical lunatic left-wing discussions. It is not intended for younger audiences. Okay, welcome back everybody. My OBS crashed right as I came back. You gotta love that. Give me just 1 second to make sure everything's working like it should. Gotta love when OBS crashes. Welcome back everybody, by the way. Let's see. Oh, that's working. MIDI's functioning. Okay, so... Stream is up. Is my stream up? Manage stream. Stream is up. Please tell me it didn't start a new friggin' VOD. That would be a pain in the ass, but I guess if it did, right? Yeah, it did. God damn it, dude. So much for the disconnection protection. So now I have 2 VODs, 1 hour and 13 minutes. It's bad enough that I got to deal with 2 VODs locally because it crashed and I had to restart the recording. Speaking of which, I wonder if that ruined my VOD. Give me a sec. Let me double check on that real quick. Again, sorry about the hassle. Hassle happens. Hassle happens. Oh no, it seems to be fine. My old VOD, which is fine because at least it did me the service of crashing during a break. It didn't crash right while I was playing, right? So let's get back to our game here. Let's see where the hell we were. Music for the day, by the way, is Teenage Fan Club, their first album, one of my favorites. Where were we here? Let me close out that because I don't need it anymore and it's just confusing me. And let's get back to this game. We're about to kick his ass. So, oh shit, my chat. I need my chat. Where's my chatterino? There it is. Hey, Sturkey. You had to reload and I had to reload. Yeah, my OBS crashed right when I came back. So, I had to bring it all back up and verify everything was running. Something that happens every so often. It's really not surprising. At the very beginning when I started up OBS, it told me that it needed to update. And I never update right before a stream, so I hit nope, remind me later. And I guess it's angry that I didn't let it upgrade right then and there, because it decided it was going to crash on my second break. But at least it did me the favor of crashing on a break, which is awesome. Yeah. It still split my VOD, so I'm going to end up having 2 VODs for today, which I absolutely hate. It's a pain in the ass locally for my local recording, because I have to, of course, deal with that in when I process them to put them up on YouTube. Oh, why is there a little stone circle here? That's kind of neat. I didn't know about that. But it also split it locally, which means anybody who goes into my previous VODs to watch them for the day, not that there's like people knocking down the doors or anything to watch my previous VODs, but they're going to have to contend with one hour VOD and then another 3-hour VOD, assuming it doesn't crash again, right? So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, welcome back everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday, at least a little bit more wonderful than my Friday is. Yeah, it's been a rough month. It's been a rough 2 months now. I guess all this started 2 months ago. I didn't stream yesterday, which again, my normal stream days are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And I didn't stream yesterday, and I didn't stream Wednesday, and I apologize for that. Things just actually finally came to a head with everything. Not that anything's like going wrong or that there's a bunch of stuff bad, but I had a bunch of stuff that did happen that kind of made me. I don't know. Anybody who's popped their head in here, you know, on my stream and listened to me rant for God knows how long ago.
The design's ready.
Ooh, so we got a research going here that just finished. So I've been, my life's been kind of in turmoil for like the last 5 years, right? I haven't had a job in over 5 years. I've been having mental health issues, etc., etc. And I'm in the midst of trying to resolve those. And starting about 2 months ago, my prescriber prescribed a ADHD medication for me that was really wreaking havoc with my sleep.
Ready.
And because of that, I spent almost a month unable to have a decent sleep schedule. I was only able to sleep like 4 hours at a time, and anytime that I tried to stay awake for more than about 8 to 10 hours, I'd suddenly get exhausted, right? And 8 to 10 hours, I'd be so exhausted, I'd fall asleep, thinking that I'd be able to sleep and get rid of that exhaustion, only to wake up 4 hours later and not be rested, right? It is amazing that I managed to stream during that entire month. It's just so bad, so bad. Yeah, thanks, Sturkey. It was really rough. But then the next month came along, and I asked my prescriber to change up my medicine, so maybe we could keep that from happening. And he did. He changed my ADHD medication, and he also prescribed for me Prozac, which I've been on Prozac before. It's been a long time, but I don't remember it being this bad. But for some reason, the Prozac, and I started taking that at the beginning of this month, right? So about the 1st or so, and taking it for about 2 weeks. And I just really wasn't. I really just wasn't feeling it, man. The Prozac was making me feel like I was day drinking. Honestly, it was making me feel like I didn't have decent cognitive faculties. Right? It wasn't making me like stumbly or uncoordinated like drinking does. But it was making me cognitively slow, so I couldn't really think quick on my toes, which really sucks, because it's about like like in a cloud, exactly. It's one of the few things I actually have going for me. I've noticed with old age, cognitive abilities kind of going down a little. I have problems remembering things spur of the moment, especially like facts and details that I would normally know in my youth, but whatever. Getting old's a bitch, right? So I've been kind of casually looking for a job since I've been here. I've been here in Houston for about 3 years now. A little over 3 years, right? 3 years. About as much as I've been consistently streaming here on Twitch. So for about that long, right? And I've been casually looking for a job, and knowing my mental condition, I've had a few requirements on getting a job. One of the ones that I was thinking is that if I'm going to be working another 40-hour schedule, which I assume, because there's not a lot of jobs that aren't a 40-hour schedule, and I was going to have to, get up, get ready, commute, go to work, get exhausted, commute back home, and rinse and repeat 5 days a week. Then it was going to have to be something that wasn't like my previous jobs, and I didn't have to have like a very intense social aspect to it, because that drains me unbelievably, right? Being overly social in a work environment, or in any environment, really. About the only one that really works for me that I can be social that doesn't really drain me is like here, streaming, right? Any type of like parasocial relationship doesn't really bother me nearly as much as full social interaction.
We've advanced a tech level.
Yay! Anyway, so I've been looking for a job that kind of matches that criteria, or if it is a social job. Oh wow, these guys are fully advanced now at 900 AD. That's awesome. If they are, then I am going to take some dudes, and I am going to distribute them to some of these other castles, right? So the other requirement is that if I couldn't find a job like that, it did have a bit of social requirements, then it would have to be part-time, right? It would just have to be part-time. I would not be able to work a full-time job and do that, right? So I found this one job, it was like on Reddit or something. They'd made a Reddit post. Since I've been streaming, I was thinking about doing voice acting, but a lot of the demands on doing like narration and stuff like that, like I don't have like a recording environment that I can count on being quiet and conducive to be able to record narration here. But I looked into it for a while, and that sounded like it'd be good. But I found this one job that they made a post on Reddit that was really interesting. It was emceeing a trivia night at a bar, right? It was this company that basically hires people in certain areas, and then they make contracts with bars in that local area to do trivia night, right? So, and I thought that would be cool because it'd be me just going to this bar, setting up a PA system, and then reading out trivia questions and managing scores and then handing out prizes for it. It sounded really easy. Not to mention on top of that, when you started out, you only started out at 1 day a week, right? Which sounded right up my alley. 1 day a week for 2 hours a day. I'd drive out to a bar. I'd read a bunch of trivia questions, hand out prizes, manage the thing. And then that was it. 2 hours a night, $50 a gig. All I'd be doing is yakking like I do now on stream. And so I applied for that. And I got the job overwhelmingly. They loved me. They loved me. Absolutely loved me. And that was great. But the problem was they didn't. They always hire people ahead of time. And they didn't have a gig for me at that time. So they needed to collaborate with a bar in my area to make sure I had a gig. So they did that. And they started to work for a gig in my area. And I didn't hear from him for fucking ever, man. Forever I didn't hear from him. And the other day when I was in my Prozac heavy cloud, I was just thinking about him. I was thinking, what the hell ever happened to him? Because it had been like half a year almost since I had heard from him. They said eventually they'd find a bar that wanted to do trivia night in my area. And they'd contact me when they did. And I thought it'd be a lot sooner than it was. But they did eventually contact me when I was thinking about him. I was thinking, whatever happened to him? And they finally said, hey, we got a bar in your area. And it's like 20 minutes from my house. It's just a drive down the street, which is awesome. So they say, are you good for it? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
We've advanced a tech level.
Noise. Unfortunately, in my Prozac haze, it started giving me panic attacks. I thought, I'm not going to be able to think sharp enough to be able to go through training and do everything that I need to do to be able to manage this while I'm in this mind state. So it started giving me panic attacks. So I decided on about the 14th, I think, is when I cataloged it. So 10 days ago, I decided to stop taking my Prozac and just stick with my ADHD medication, right, which is great. The ADHD medication I absolutely need, and it's not doing anything bad to me, though it's not really making me like tons better either. It's just making me better than I am without it, right? So I just stopped taking that and let that clear up. And I went through training this week. Tuesday and Wednesday, I had to go out to training. So the one reason why I didn't stream on Wednesday is because I was still kind of exhausted from Tuesday, and I'll get to that in a moment. And I didn't want to stream and then in a couple hours had to get ready and go do another training session, right? It's just, this shit's exhausting, right? On Saturday, I had the weirdest fucking thing happen. I had somebody come to the door for me here where I live, and I moved in with my sister a while ago. My sister, my dad, and her kid, my nephew, I guess. And my dad since passed, which sucks, but, it is what it is. And a year before that, my mom had passed, and they lived here too. So me moving in here, I basically, was helping my sister take care of my dad in his last days, and then helping her take care of the house and everything, and her kid and whatnot. And, of course, freeloading because I don't have a job. At least I didn't until now. And so Saturday, somebody comes to the door for me, and I'm like, who the fuck even knows I live here? That is the weirdest goddamn thing in the world. And I did grow up here, so it's not inconceivable that somebody might have found out where I was and came to visit me or something. I don't know. Not that I know. It's not like I've contacted any of them, right? But what it was somebody serving a summons. Somebody is apparently suing me for a debt that I incurred in 2022, I think? or at least I thought. I couldn't remember the debt, you know. I didn't remember the amount of the debt, which was about $1,500. Certainly didn't remember the bank that the loan was taken out, because I didn't take out a loan in 2022. I wouldn't have, because I was unemployed at the time, and nobody in their right mind would have given me a loan. So I was just confused as hell. I had to do like a free consultation with a lawyer. To figure out what I could do in this case, because, I mean, you know, they subpoenaed me successfully. And luckily, after talking it over with a lawyer on one of those free consultations, and I told them, I'm broke, dude. It's not like they could get money from me if they sued me anyway, right? And it's not like, you know, if I did incur the debt, it's not like it's the only debt that I have. I mean, I still have my college loans that I'm unable to pay because I'm unemployed too. So those will eventually catch up with me too. So I figured it might be potentially possible that I had a loan that I don't remember, or, you know, or whatever. After talking it over with my sister and my ad hoc lawyer there, found out, it was a shock. And that's the thing too. One of the things you got to understand during all this stuff is my general mental state. I am not doing well as far as my mental state goes. Stuff like that, like when I got that subpoena, that floored me for 2 days. For 2 days, I could do nothing but wake up in the morning, maybe take a shower and eat, and then lay in bed and watch TV all day because I didn't have the energy to do anything else. And that lasted for almost 2 days before I built up the energy to actually do something and contact a lawyer, do some research online about it to figure out what I could do, talk to my sister about it, all that kind of stuff. So dealing with this stuff, you know, and this is in addition to like all the therapy that I'm going to and the prescriber that I'm going to, which again takes a lot out of me to make sure that I maintain those schedules to be able to see those people. And then on top of that, pile on a job that I suddenly have, right? And then, you know, I get this summons in the mail right after I've just quit my Prozac and I'm coming out of my cloud, which absolutely sucks. So that's all happening, right? Anyway, come to find out that this lawsuit, apparently right before my mom passed away, she took out a loan with Upstart. I don't know if anybody remembers Upstart. It's that one company that came out during the pandemic. And they weren't really a financial institution or anything. They were just a company that would connect people who wanted to take out a loan with banks that were really willing to give high interest, high yield loans, right? High interest, not high yield, high interest, high risk loans to people. And my mom, being the financial fucking disaster that she's been her entire life, right, like literally a month before she died, decided to take out $1,500 in my dad's name. And the funny thing about that, and I've been dealing with this my whole life, is I have the same name as my dad with the exception of our middle names. So I've been dealing with that mistaken identity my entire life. It's actually one of the main reasons why I spell my name with an H, because my dad doesn't. Hopefully that gives me a little bit of differentiation between him. But in this case, it didn't. They assumed that I was him. So I was the one got served instead of him. And once I figured all that out, I threw all that shit in the trash. And fuck them. They can do whatever they want. My social security number and birth date are not going to match my dad's. So that is now resolved. It resolved to the point to where it's no longer taxing me mentally, and that's all that really matters. So, that, and then the training on Wednesday. Oh man, so my training on Thursday. Oh my god. I don't know if you're hanging around X-Band, but you're gonna really dig this. So, I'm living here in Houston. Of course, I'm in Houston, which is a bluish area in a very red state, right? But it's still a very red state. And of course, if you know anything about me, I'm extremely left-leaning. Like, you don't get more left-leaning than I am.
We've advanced a tech level.
So much so that I've even went ahead and severed communications with friends who I found were too right-leaning for me to consider them to be moral, right? It's literally one of those things that I wrestle with all the time, mentally.
Ergonomically terrific.
And the idea of, and it's also one of the anxieties that I have on going out in public, right? I don't really want to be around people who are going to try to challenge that for me. Oh shit, dude, I am getting my butt whipped out because I don't really want to debate it, you know? I don't really want to debate my my political stance. I don't really want to do anything like that, honestly. And so I get this job where I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to bars. I'm gonna MC a trivia night. And on Tuesday, I had training at one, and it was a good ways away from the house, so that was a bit of stress. It was like an hour drive away from where I live because you know it has to be where there's one already established, right? I can't go to the one that I'm actually going to be going to down the street from my house. So I had to drive all the way across Houston, which Houston is all sprawl. I don't know how many of you guys live in a large town, but Houston is akin to LA and how much sprawl it has. A drive to the corner store is a 1 hour drive. You know, just, well, not a 1 hour drive, but drive to a corner store is 30 minutes, period. Right? So just driving to this bar on the other side of town took me almost an hour and a half to get to. And I get there, and the name of the bar is called the Angry Elephant. And if you're not here in the United States, I'll have to specify that that is the symbol for the political party that is currently doing kind of fascistic things in our government at the moment. And the fact that it's called the Angry Elephant, a little bit disheartening. I go in and oh my god, dude. So posters of Ronald Reagan everywhere. They even have that one shot of the assassination attempt on Donald Trump where he's standing there with his pumping his fist up in the air. And I'm like shitting bricks, dude, because I just don't even want to deal with it. Luckily, I'm training, and all I have to do is keep my mouth shut and watch the person who I'm training with. But she was a really nice person. She was a nice person, obviously not of the same political affiliation of the people in the bar. But, you know, it went smooth. Not a lot of problems with that, which is encouraging. But it was still stressful. So, and that's one of the reasons why when I had to stream Wednesday, I was like, yeah, dude, I'm not going to stream for 4 hours and then an hour later have to get ready to go to my next training and have to experience that again. I just don't really have the mental faculties for it at the moment. And so I didn't stream on Wednesday, and then went to my training on Wednesday. Wednesday. And the training on Wednesday for doing the emceeing at the quiz night was a lot better. It was at the bar that I was supposed to be at, which was down the street. They got a substitute to do it, to train me. And it's like a 20-minute drive from my house, which is really awesome early. And it's just one road, too. It's not like I have to do a bunch of winding around a bunch of roads. It's literally just out of my house onto one of the main roads, all the way to the bar. That's it, right? 20 minutes drive. Really, really easy. And the place is a lot tinier than the bar that I was in last night. The bar that I was in the night before. The bar that I was in the night before was huge, and we had like 6 to 8 groups of people playing trivia. So the trivia itself took almost 3 hours, right? So we were there a while. This bar, the night after that, the one that I'm going to be reading in regularly, I guess I should probably just attack these assholes and end this level. Yeah, let me do that. So this bar right here was a lot tinier, but it's still kind of the same political mindset. It was early. The age group was a little bit older, so there were people my age or older usually, mostly a little older than me, like late 50s, early 60s on average, and it was so the name of the place is called the Corner Country Ice House, I think is the name of it, and it is. I mean, it's very, very country, I guess is the most polite.
The sector.
Yay!
We won!
Which is the most polite way that I could put it, but a good group of people, good atmosphere. Like I said, the bar itself was a little tinier, and we only had, I think, 3 groups of people, which means everybody playing got a prize, which is great. And also on top of that, it made me feel a lot more confident about my ability to do the job itself. It's not like I had a lot of misgivings about it, but the lady who did the one the night before, hers was more of like a controlled chaos, and it seemed a little overwhelming, especially in the type of bar that I was in. But yeah. So I did that, and it was a lot more, you know, things were starting to get a lot more pleasant, but, you know, I had to hit my therapist up the next morning right after I did that, and we had a cat howling out in the front room the whole night, and I got no sleep that night. So by the time I got to my therapist appointment, I was not up for streaming on Thursday either, so I didn't. Okay, so here we are on the third island. I still have 70 dudes left. So let's dump... Tell you what, so I'm pretty sure that I reset up to 100 after this. So I'm going to go ahead and dump... I'm going to go ahead and dump 40 guys into the... Well, tell you what, let's do 50 guys. And let's do this corner up here. He's probably going to do... Well, that's a problem, because he's not going to be able to get past that guy. The yellow guy's not going to be able to get past the green guy without fighting the fucking guy. So I'm going to... You know what I'm going to do?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no.
No, it's not going to work.
So what I did is I tried to ally with those guys. Hey, Stucky, Sturkey, thanks for stopping by. I surely appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. Again, thanks for stopping by the stream. I surely appreciate it. Okay, so let's do about half and half like I normally do on my research and breeding. And let's get stuff going. So what I did when I clicked on the shields is I tried to ally with them.
No, I don't think so.
And he basically told me no, so I'm on my own. My guess is they're probably going to ally with each other, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. I'll just have to live with that. I should probably research offensive weapons first. Yeah, so that's been my last 2 months. Like I said, everything kind of worked out for the best. This weekend, I have to set up my setup, make sure everything works, my laptop, my ability to get all that stuff. I also need to prep everything, you know, connect up everything, do like a test run here at my house. Make sure that I have everything I need to conduct it, make sure my procedure's set up and everything. I also need to re-up my Spotify account, because we do like ad hoc DJing while we're doing it, which is kind of neat. So I'll need my Spotify account again, either that or, you know, come up with my own music, one of the two, which either way, but Spotify's just easier, and if I can get my student discount again, I'm definitely going to do that. Everybody that I watched, the 2 people that I trained with, they both used Spotify, so I'll probably be going that route. Yeah. And that means every Wednesday night I'm going to drive out to a bar. I'm going to drive out to this little podunk bar, because I live out in the middle of the sticks, and, well, it's not really in the middle of the sticks. Like I said, Houston is all sprawl. I live very far from the city center, from downtown, or from even the more central suburbs. I live out in the burbs on the edges, and this place here is very, very country, so kind of reminds me of the area when I grew up.
Ready.
When I grew up, the area that I grew up in was very rural, but still suburbs. But you know, when I grew up, you know, none of that was developed. So as you're driving around in the area, you're, you know, still driving past, you know, friggin' cow and horse fields and shit. And, you know, a lot of the roads didn't go through, and a lot of the bridges hadn't been built, and all that's been hella built up where I was raised now. But the area that I live in is more akin to where I lived in when I was a kid, because there's still a lot of rural stuff out here, a lot of cow fields, cow pastures, and shit like that. Looks like we already have somebody roaming around, which is great. So the forces that he uses to roam around like that, unfortunately, are preventing him from using those for either research or breeding, which is not a very good thing, you know? So we're about to get our next research project done. When I do that, I'm probably going to take like 5, maybe 10 people out and start working on a second castle. Because I don't want him to do it.
Ergonomically terrific.
Nice. So let's do 15 people there. Let us grab an army of our lowest denomination of 10 people. And let's plop them right here. And if he moves people over there, then he'll just have to face my little rock throwers. And they're going to be there until they build a castle. Yeah, so I don't really know that that's really changed since I've been a kid, since I've always been not religious. And I've always been raised in the southeast of the United States, which is very religious. So if the topic of religion came up, of course, as I've gotten older, my opinions on religion have gotten more offensive to people who are religious. So I've always kind of known to kind of keep my mouth shut about that stuff in situations where it might disadvantage me. But unfortunately now, you can add my politics to it, because to pretty much the bulk of our population, my political views are kind of roughshod, you know. Most people view them negatively because I stand at about as far left as I possibly can. Like, I'm so far left that I consider our left party here in the United States to be right centrist. You know, I don't think they're a left wing party at all. They're not. Anyway, this Thorm of the Game Design Lexicon, we are currently playing Tyrants, Fight Through Time, or Megalomania for the PC DOS platform, MS-DOS platform, through DOSBox ECE. If you like the content we put out here, if you like my ramblings about my nice and troubled life, by all means, give us a subscribe or a follow down below here on Twitch. We do stream currently Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or at least I try to anyway. Noon p.m. till 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you can't catch us live in front of a studio audience, by all means, hit us up over at YouTube. You can subscribe and the alert button and know we're coming out with new videos over there. You can hit our abouts up on both of these platforms to find out the other social media platforms we occupy, as well as any other additional information about me. Like if you want to stalk me or any stuff like that, you know, I don't mind. It makes me feel kind of good. I'm going to take a short musical break, and I will be back with some more Tyrants Fight Through Time or Megalomania for the PC MS-DOS platform.